Okay, part number 2, the origin of Druidism. In order to determine the origin of Druidism, people came to be some very strange ideas. Some thought the Druids pupils of Pythagoras, others even took them for Buddhists. One thought the origin of Buddhism or Druidism was Phoenicia, which is what I think. Others thought it was Chaldea or India. The ancients already showed great interest in the priesthood, and that the last 2 centuries there arose a great literature dealing with them, but it was of no importance in itself, lost in symbolic and occult trifles. Notwithstanding, there was no success in throwing light on the accounts of the Druids, nor in explaining the so-called contradictions. When in 1906 there appeared a book by a well-known French scholar Dabois de Jubainville, Les Druides et el Dios Celtique au formeur des animaux. The scientific world hoped to receive at least some enlightenment regarding the mysterious institution de Jubainville's book. However, is not much more than a compilation of the more important things we know already about the Druids, and he only tells us from what we already know from other sources. Picture there. In the first chapter of his book, de Jubainville speaks of the Gaulish priests. They have 2 kinds of priests, the Druids and the Guthari. When Caesar subdued independent Gaul in the 1st century before our era, the Druids had already gained an important position, but he was told that Druidism originated in Britain and had been transferred thence from Gaul to Gaul. So they're saying that even though this book is more about Irish, so they were in France, but first they were in Britain. And this is, in the first 100 years after Jesus left. Jubain derives the name of the Druids from the root Drew, and translate the name Druis by the most wise one, the Galactic Drunomion, or Ark Sanctuary, and quotes as the Gaulish synonym ver nimaton. Other derivations of the word Druis are possible, of course. But it seems that the Druids were known to the Greeks since about 200 BC, when Sochon mentions them. They existed there already at the same time as Gaul on the left side of the Rhine, a country which was very much visited by merchants of Massilia. This happened not long after the Gauls had conquered Britain, which had been occupied first by Gaels. And it seems in fact that the conquest had probably taken place between 300 to 200 BC. The Gauls had found the Druids in Britain and transferred the institution to the continent. Caesar says so explicitly. The Druids were originally a Gaelic institution peculiar to the Gaels. The Gaels were a Celtic tribe whose language still exists in Ireland and in the Highlands of Scotland. From this tribe, which had during a long time ago occupied all the British islands, Druidism has been transformed into other large countries, which lay spread out to the ocean of the channel between the Atlantic Ocean and the Rhine, but it was known as Gallia, Cisalpina, and in the lands formerly Celtic, in the east of the Rhine, also in the basins of the Danube, and in Asia Minor, where the Nematon Ark Sanctuary is connected to the Druids. It must be, because that's the name they called. It actually says in no way connected to the Druids, but why would there must be a typo? Anyway, the Druidic manner and the whole the golden calf, that's all the Druids. And I wanted to give you the preamble before I went on to it. I'm not going to start right at the beginning, because it's just too long to read the whole thing. Okay, so I'm just going to read this last part. And let's go right to the Feast of Tara. Okay. Dogra and the Druids of Nial. Nial of the 9 hostages was succeeded in the monarchy AD 505 by Dathi, the son of his brother Viachara, king of Connacht, and was, like his uncle, a valiant and ambitious man. It happened that in the 17th year of his reign, King Dali was induced to go from Tara to East Rudiach, the great cataract of the river Erin. At the present it's called Ballyshannon, to adjust some territorial dispute which had sprung up among his relatives. The time at which this journey was undertaken was the close of summer, so the king arrived at his destination close upon November Eve, a season of great solemnity.